Good morning again, everybody. I want to welcome you to Shortcuts for Your Soul, and today is entitled The Power from Uncertainty. And I've got Master Kuthumi with me. He's an ascended master who lived in the last part of the latter part of the 18th century. And he worked with Madame Blavatsky and a few other ascended masters, Saint Germain, to put together um, an organization for the occult and studying multidimensional realms of being. And today we're going to discuss the power of uncertainty, that where we can actually gain a great amount of self-control, self-empowerment from the energy of uncertainty. Not to become uncertain, but actually begin to utilize the energy of uncertainty, because uncertainty is just an energy. All emotion is just energy. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for my tour down Excitement Lane there with a new technology. So during these times of uncertainty, we are given the opportunity to harness greater awareness, greater power, and greater control over our lives and our creative process. This is where we are right now as a species, individually and collectively, where we can harness the power of our energy, whether that energy is from fear or love. We can learn to repurpose energy into manifestations that will sustain us far more effectively than the old paradigms of polarity, going back and forth from one to the other, but being able to actually utilize the existing energy of emotion in the form of uncertainty, because there's a lot of uncertainty on the planet. Most of the uncertainty is based with people who do not have an understanding or an awareness of what is actually going on. They're caught up in the external things, things that are going on in the world around them. So they think that the virus and this political event and this thing is determining what they're feeling. And that is not the case. What is determining what they're feeling is our perceptions of what we think is going on around us, and our ability to begin to change and alter our perceptual apparatus so that we can begin to harness emotional energy differently than we instinctually do. And he's stressing this, different than we instinctually do. In other words, most of us are operating from a body-mind consciousness that's based in the response of fight or flight, and that we've actually entered into a time now where we're here to transcend that model, not to give up having a body, not to give up having free will or free choice, but to become conscious that we're not subjective to those emotions of fear, those emotions of guilt, those emotions of... We are no longer here to be subjective to those energies. We're to utilize those energies to lift ourselves up higher in awareness, in potential, in creation, to raise yourself up higher in your creative potential. He says, the existing conditions are merely your opportunity that was generated by your species collectively in order that you may transcend the subjectivity that has held you down for many thousands of years from establishing in your own world. He's referring specifically to us in our own world. In other words, in the world of our own minds and the world of our own bodies and the world around us, to establish a level of efficacy, self-control, so that the conditions you are experiencing are conditions that you have created, and not getting caught up in those feeling like they're being imposed on you, but recognizing that the experiences you're having are what has been created by you. Your capacity to understand deliberately that you generate certain emotional conditions that produce very precise effects in time and space liberate you from subjectivity and empower you into the creative process. These are not new words for some of you, but to understand that the uncertainty you have within you about the conditions in your world is the very energy you need to transcend. And how might you do this? How might you transcend this uncertainty? You cannot suppress it. You cannot deny it. You cannot attack it. This does not work. Nor can you do this outwardly. Nor can you place blame or fault for these emotions, these conditions in your experience on the world around you, or to try and attack it or force it to change. What you must learn to do is to utilize the energy of that. Yes, but how? Okay, we'll make this easy. When you are in the energy that you call uncertainty or fear or guilt or anger or shame, in the awareness of your uncertainty, in the awareness of uncertainty, from the perspective of your awareness, you may change and alter, lift up, utilize the energy of this to raise yourself higher. When you make a distinction in perceptual awareness of a condition you are experiencing, if you are uncertain or afraid, if you make a difference in your perceptual awareness of the fear and what you are, you immediately shift your position from being subjective to being objective. From the perspective of objectivity, you have lost your subjectivity. And to maintain that position, even in the continued perception of uncertainty, you begin a transformational process between yourself as the awareness and the condition that you are viewing as that which is uncertain or fearful or dubious or what you would call negative. From the mere perspective of being able to maintain your perspective of awareness, you are, by the very nature of that, creating a transcendence, utilizing your awareness to recognize that your observation of the thing that you observe will become the image and likeness of what you are as the observer. If you are observing that fear, that uncertainty, from the vibrational awareness or perspective of love, you move into the transformative position. You begin to reorganize this emotional predisposition into a higher expression than what it can be left to its own devices or left to your subjectivity to it. For if you are subjective to your fear, then certain results are inevitable. If you are subjective to your anger, then there are certain results that are inevitable. This is the time that humanity must end its subjectivity, to the negative emotional dispositions that have been placed in the body for good reason, but have now reached the point where they have outlived their usefulness for you as a species. So it is very important that you understand that you are here now to elevate, as did I and many others elevated ourselves beyond this condition that you call the human condition, to the place where our consciousness is continually reorganizing conditions that we turn our attention towards. When we turn our attention towards the suffering of others, it changes. For we don't see the suffering of others as separate from ourselves, but we do not see it from the perspective of empathy where we are suffering with them. We see it from the perspective of transmutation, of love, of a higher vibrational perceptual awareness that by its nature and by its intent reorganizes energy instantaneously. And so a disturbance for you will affect you very differently than a disturbance would for us. We delight in the opportunity that we experience, being able to liberate ourselves further by the transmutation of the former. The caterpillar is becoming the butterfly. It is your awareness, which is the proverbial butterfly. Your mind and body is the cocoon. And your emotions are the transforming elements that move you from being the caterpillar into becoming the butterfly. Please understand, it is through the perspective of awareness. And for some of you, this will be very difficult to stay in this position of loving awareness over the most difficult of emotional energies you might be perceiving at this time. Even your greatest fear, observed from the perspective of awareness, unattached to it, but willing to be loving towards it, will begin the process. And for some of you, this can be very intense, for you will feel like you are about to explode for certain emotions, like emotions you would call anxiety and terror and rage. The most difficult extents of these emotions will at sometimes appear to almost overwhelm your awareness, but you must stay strong in the position of being aware and not subjective. The transformation by the very nature of your awareness will occur if you maintain that position. It is when you choose to go back into the subjectivity of a particular emotion that you appear to lose control. But you have not lost control. You've merely surrendered back to a position of awareness that makes you subjective to the former and not the latter. You want to place your awareness in this position of observation, loving observation, and remain there. Even those of you who suffer what your modern medicine calls high anxiety, if you stay in this position of observational awareness over your anxiety and you remain there from a loving perspective, a vibration where you care about the suffering of that aspect of yourself, but you do not get lost in it. You just stay there lovingly observing. The very nature of your observance of it will maintain the change. You will cross a threshold where that anxiety will suddenly begin to break, dissolve, and diminish. And you will know that your observational awareness has transmuted or transformed this energy. Yes. He's saying that Saint Germain was the first master that understood this principle in modern times. Yes. He understood this principle of transmutation more than anybody else in modern times. That we actually, as an awareness, the minute we put our awareness on something, we literally transmute it. He says, yes. Yes. I'm trying to describe the word he's saying because he's using a word that indicates that it can be so it's like you're on fire. Is that it? Yes. That you can be perceiving certain emotions that can seem so overwhelming sometimes that it can be very difficult to stay in that position of awareness. But he says it's important to maintain your position of awareness as a loving awareness, not subjective to it. Be patient. He's saying be very, 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 very patient. Yes. For you will, it may take a minute. It may take 5 minutes. It may take an hour. It may take a day. It may even take a week. As long as you maintain the awareness, the change in that lower vibrational energy is inevitable. It is inevitable. You know, we go back to the allegory that we often use of a glass of water. You've got a glass of water here. And if you put this glass of water in the freezer, the water doesn't have to do a thing. The interaction of the freezing temperature in the freezer makes the water change. You know, I love it. The simplest example they've ever given us, right, is that of temperature. So the water has no choice. So your emotion, whether it's fear or anger or intense anxiety or guilt or shame, it doesn't matter what the emotion is or the intensity of it. If you maintain a loving awareness of it, the very nature of your awareness will transform that emotional energy. Think of the emotional energy as the water, your awareness as the vibration of the temperature of cold in the freezer, and that the vibration of the temperature of cold will change it. It doesn't change it right away. If I put this in the freezer, this does not change right away. It freezes as the temperature gets imparted into it. The same thing if you put it on a pot, a pot of water, put it on a pot in the stove and boil it. The minute you're adding a specific quality of temperature to it, the water itself has no choice. Your emotion has no choice when you maintain a certain quality of awareness in relationship to it. This is so important. And they keep telling us again and again that this is the message that everyone needs to understand. The very nature of your awareness is transformational. When you are aware of being aware that, yes, I'm aware of this anxiety, I'm going to stay in this position of love about this anxiety. I'm going to stay in a loving vibration. I'm going to feel this anxiety. My body feels like it wants to run and doesn't want to sit still, but I'm going to remain with it anyway. There's a process like the water in the freezer, where at some point that energy, your awareness begins to affect the emotional energy and begins to change from one state into another. This has to happen from the inside of you. The outside world cannot do this for you. The outside world is temporary. Yes, yes. This is the transfiguration that happens by choice and by will from within you. You know, even Master Jesus says this all the time. The kingdom of heaven is within you. It's not out there. It's within you. You are it. You are this vibration, the light of the Creator. We all are. And that is within us all. And the minute you can stay in that position of light or love or joy or peace, that awareness of your being interacts with the lower vibrational energies and begins to change them. This is so important to just understand that, this simple piece. And I can tell you, there have been many hours where I've sat in meditation and my body does not want to sit. I feel like I'm going to explode. I feel like I got ants crawling under my skin. I want to get out of there. And I remain present with it without judging it, without finding fault. I keep the body still. I keep the body quiet. And eventually the energy changes. And the only way you're going to know this is not because of what we're saying to you, but you have to do this. You have to sit down, stay present with your anxiety, stay present with your fear, stay present with your anger, stay present with those negative emotions, but stay as a loving presence. Be aware of them. Have compassion for them. Those are aspects of your energy that have been conditioned by the world to suffer. And humanity for thousands of years has been taught that it's supposed to suffer. Most religions have that belief that we're supposed to suffer. No, we did not come here to suffer. We came here to transcend the conditions of time, space, and matter so that we could enable ourselves to move into a creative potential that Master Jesus spoke of. Ask and you shall receive, right? And that we're in that place in consciousness now on a scale that's never been seen before. There's a huge push to maintain the fear paradigm, and there's a huge push to this ascension process, this awakening, this transcendence that is happening for humanity as a whole. Yes, I know. Okay, so we're going to take some questions on this. Remember, you are the transformer. The body and mind are the instrument. You are the consciousness, the soul, the spirit that is able to transcend or transmute the conditions of matter and mind into a much more pleasing expression. Thank you. Thank you, Trish. Question from Trish's dad. Please explain his father Maurice's death. I got accident, family member. What else do you see? Wow. I see something. I'm getting very clear from this being that this was an issue of the heart. This was an event that was an issue of the heart. What do you mean? Something to do with the physical heart. That was connected by a wound, like some sort of something stabbed him. Is this an event in your life, or is this what? The actual event was precipitated by an event of the heart. The preceding causes were very personal, and that there was some violence involved as a preceding cause to this event. His statement is, I am very good now. I am very good now. That sorrow is past me. That sorrow is past me. And that sorrow should be past you as well. It is time to let it go. For when you leave this world, you will feel very differently than what you can while you are in this world. But you are free to find that while you are in this world. You may find the freedom that I now have. Yes. Yes. Okay, so again, I can only, so something happened with his physical heart that caused that an event. I don't know what it is. Again, that's just what he's saying. There was an actual physical event that happened with his heart, that there was a preceding cause to it. Um, Again, I get violence. I get something that's, I keep getting this image of something stabbing. I don't know what it's in relationship to, but that's what he's communicating to me. Um, but freedom, he's also saying to say to him, tell him freedom is close. Freedom is very close. So please tell him that, Trish. Freedom is very close. Wow. I'm just going to scroll up here, see if I've missed anything. Wow. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming back. I appreciate that. The new technology is fun. Question from Danielle. I applied myself into practicing chanting daily Tao mantra, and my mother hears me chanting while I'm asleep. Peace, love, and harmony. Why am I doing this? I got Master Saint Germain is saying you are bringing down the light. You are now embodying. You are embodying this energy to express in your world of matter. You are embodying this, for you are no longer asleep. You are now awake. You are embodying it. This is important you understand, for when you embody an idea, when you embody an energy, you give rise to its corresponding manifestations in time and space. You are transmuting your flesh. You are using the light and the rays. You are transmuting, embodying the higher frequencies of your soul into matter, which is what many of you are doing now to assist in this process of what you call ascension. He's saying keep going. There's a 7 days. He said 7 days. In 7 days, the eye will be open. Here in your flesh, your eye will be open in 7 days. Cool. Thank you, Danielle. Appreciate that. Question from I Am Universe. The past 2 days, I have experienced heart pain. Is this a clearing or medical past history of heart attack and seeking higher perspective? Thank you. Love and blessings. Wow. I get 3 things that somebody, I don't know who's saying this, but it's one of your guardian angels is saying that you need to be drinking more water, mindfully drinking more water. There's an issue of dehydration. Yes. Anything else? That's the, you need to be drinking more water mindfully. The right hand, he says the right hand must go to the right heart. The right hand, he's saying very, very specifically, the right hand must go to the right heart. So just so you know, he's showing me the hand, your right hand over the right segment of your heart, and then what? And be present. Be present with the communication that happens between you and your heart as the vibrational communication that needs to occur to resynchronize your body to your soul, to resynchronize your body to your soul. That makes sense. That makes sense for the water too. Because when you start working with higher vibrational energies, when you as a soul are awakened and you realize that the way you interact with matter and mind organizes it, the way we interact with matter and mind reorganizes it. And so, do that. Move your awareness with your right hand into the right segment of your heart. Become very, very aware of the energy that flows between your awareness, your hand, and your heart. Become aware of that flow of energy there and allow that flow to just be felt. Your guardian angel is saying there will be an understanding that you will feel from this. Move mindfully. Do not move fearfully. Whenever you feel that sensation, remember this, your right hand to your right heart, and be present. Wow, that's pretty cool. Thank you for that question. Awesome. Wonderful. I'm just scrolling down, seeing questions. Thank you for that question, Trish. Yeah, please leave us some feedback Question from Tanya. Uh, are we all as a love grid moving up the vibration by transmuting this today? I have had lots of anxiety burning through me today and have been breathing love into it. It's burning like fire. Yes, Tanya. He's saying, yeah, yes. Katumi is placing a hand over his throat. He's placing a hand over his throat and he's saying, stay in alignment, in loving alignment. The intensity of the fire, the transmuting fire that you are invoking. Do not fear this, for you are feeling the transmutation of the lower to the higher. Yes. So allow yourself to be present, stay in a loving awareness towards the anxiety, towards even the sensations that are connected to that anxiety in the body. Because remember, any emotion will have a corresponding location as to where it is stored in your body. And you want to make certain that you become aware of how you're changing the emotional energy and how the body's affected. Inevitably, when you increase the frequencies of love directed towards the anxiety or the depression, when you increase the intensity of love that you direct towards it, you increase you reduce the amount of the transformative time frame down. So we can shorten or lengthen the time by the amount of intensity we give energetically to the condition we're transforming. So if I feel my anxiety is increasing, I can increase the awareness of love in relation to the anxiety and direct that awareness of love to the anxiety and increase it and increase it and increase it. And you'll feel the energy of the anxiety begin to transform. So you can increase the intensity of the vibration of love directed towards the conditions that you're in the process of transforming in your body and in your mind. And yes, and you'll start to feel all kinds of changes happening. Physiologically, there'll be a measurable change that'll happen like instantaneously in the body. We've witnessed this in our courses and classes all the time, where students are going through. Somebody went through a condition where their heart they felt like they were going to have a heart attack, and they went through this huge transformation. If she ever hears this, maybe she'll leave a comment about it. But really important that the minute you energetically interact with mind and matter from a perspective of conscious awareness, you change it. And you can increase the intensity of your love. You can increase the intensity of your love towards that which is within you. What's happening right now, a lot of people are being distracted by the outside world, and they're forgetting the inner world where all their fear and anxiety is actually residing. That's actually giving rise to the outside world. The minute we move inward and start this process of transformation and uncertainty, which is what they talk about, the power of uncertainty. When you start to feel uncertain, that's a signal that something inside you is ready to be transformed. Any of the negative emotions that make you feel, that's a signal inside that something inside you is ready to be transmuted or transformed through the application of your loving awareness, through your soul, what you are. You are a soul, right? We are all soul energy in matter and space, reorganizing it by choice or not, right? It's better to do it by choice. I recommend it. Thank you, Katumi. Hi, Jane. Is it enough to imagine growing roots like a tree when wanting to stay present? Absolutely. Absolutely, Jane, you may do that. Master Jesus works on your right side a lot. He comes in on your right side quite often, about 8 feet out. He says you're at the position where you're learning to accept love as yourself. When you accept, yes, he says, when you accept yourself as the love that is who you are, then I will be more present with you. Wow. The love that is what you are. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Trish. Scroll down here. Question from Carolyn Taglioni. Is there a specific meditation you can recommend for healing our chakras or energy centers? Much love. Thank you. Absolutely. If you go back over my videos, I don't have the names of them offhand, but on my YouTube channel, you can go back. There are meditations that have actually been done there. And I'm told in about 2.5 weeks' time, there is going to be a live event, a healing event that we're going to be doing for people. And you get more information about that. Also, this Saturday, there's going to be a festival of love where there's a total of 10 different mediums and channels that are going to be bringing a bunch of different beings through and different modalities through for everybody. It's called Festival of Love. and it's going to be on the Facebook group page, High Vibrational Mastery. So if you want to be part of, I'll be channeling Master Jesus at 2 p.m. this Saturday on that program. So it's High Vibrational Mastery on Facebook, and it's called the Festival of Love. And there's 10 amazing mediums and mentors and teachers there. That's going to be communicating different messages over a 10-hour period, starting at 10 a.m. I think going through till 10 p.m. on Saturday. But I'll post a link to the event under this video today, so you can, if you want to participate, you can go and participate in that event. Wonderful. Oh, thank you for that donation, Julia. I appreciate it. Question from Tanya. I have been toning a lot lately, and I feel deep connection and relief while doing so. Who is connecting to me? Metatron's connecting to you a lot, Tanya. You said that immediately. Yeah, he says he's putting a Merkaba around you when you're toning, that you can actually feel a Merkaba around you and utilize that vibrational configuration to raise the frequency a little higher. Yes, interesting. Also, you got fairies like to work with you too. They're earth fairies, the beings that work with the earth. Some have called them nature divas, is another name for them as well. Wonderful. Hi, Tina. Question from Tina. In what ways do I recognize my embodiment of my higher self in my daily routines? I have invited her to come down more into my body and doing lots of other work. Then thank you. The best ways to recognize, remember, you are as an awareness. Yes. Kuthumi wants me to say to you, please understand that you are the awareness that you are is the embodiment of your higher self. The awareness that you are is the higher embodiment of yourself, the self that is the greater self. Your awareness is the embodiment of it. If you align to your awareness, even in hearing these words, you can feel a certain clarity in the awareness of being aware. That is what you are, the embodiment of light. The embodiment of light is your awareness. And you may interact with matter and mind and this world from that perspective, and you will yield very precise and specific results from that. Cool. I like that. That's really cool. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Question from XBT Turbo Live. I like that name. It's a fun name. There is a lot of uncertainty surrounding the 21st December, otherwise known as the event. What are we to expect after that date? Again, the uncertainty that you perceive, it is important you understand that you are the transmuter, the transformer of your conditions in your body, in your mind, and in your world. All of you are responsible for this. In your uncertainty gives rise to awareness that you are able to transform or transcend, transmute existing conditions that have held you down formerly. You are at the position in awareness where you may liberate yourself by the use of your uncertainty, by the very nature of your interacting with it, not being subjective to it. Again, many of you are stuck in the trials and tribulations of what the world is telling you. And you must recognize that it is the trials and tribulations of the transformation within yourself that you must work with. The transformation must happen within you. Do not let yourself be pulled into this world to become subjective to its interpretations of reality. Allow yourself to be present in this moment. There is no tomorrow, but what will be tomorrow shall be as you are now. Align yourself, your mind, your body, to that awareness of self, of light, of love. Allow your awareness to alter what is within you and have less attention given to that which is outside of you. In truth, there is nothing outside of you. But to maintain the clarity of awareness and thought of what you are as love is the great liberation from matter and mind and the transformer of it. In other words, you will transform mind and matter from the perspective of what you are being as an awareness, and you have choice over what awareness you are being. You may be the awareness of love. You may be the awareness of fear. You may be the awareness of suffering. You are free in your choice, but you are not free to avoid the effects of that choice. So if you have concern or uncertainty about this specific date in this physical time and space that you find yourself, then your concern will be justified by the very nature of your attentiveness to that concern. Whereas if your attentiveness is attached to the vibrations of joy and possibility and light and love, then you will be attentive to that also. The creator of your creation, the creator of your consciousness, did not restrict you in terms of your ability to have free will. It did not restrict any of us from having free will to suffer or to live in love. You are free to choose, all of you. All of you are free to choose. Wow, thank you, brother. Thank you for that question. That's a great question. Question from Susan B. What is the name of my guardian angel during my stillness? I would like to thank them for guiding me. Thank you. You've got more than one, Susan. And depending on, they're saying to tell you, depending on what it is you're doing, depending on what it is you're contemplating, you may call one of us in or others. What do you mean others? There are ascended ones that work with you as well. These, right. Yes. Susan, and again, the name, use the name. They're saying use the name carefully. Your name. Use your name carefully. It is not Suzanne. It's Susan. Susan. Speak these words in your meditation. Susan. Susan. Wow. I don't know if you can feel that, but I can certainly feel that coming right down through my center. Use that name. Susan. Thank you. They're saying others will step forward as you incorporate the awareness of this into your consciousness. Others will step forward. Wow. Thank you, Susan. Just going to scroll down here we're getting close to being done today. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Question from Kate. Creating love and joy from scratch. Can we fake it till we make it? That's a great question, Kate. What do you say? He's laughing. He's saying the moment you choose to be an awareness of love, the moment you make the choice that I will be aware of my suffering, but I will not be in my suffering. The moment you choose to be, I am aware of my anger, but I am not in my anger. I am aware there is anger. I am aware there is suffering. I'm aware there is. The moment you exercise that choice, I am aware. The moment you exercise that choice, he's really being intense here. The moment you exercise that choice, I am aware. The moment you exercise that choice, I am aware. You are in the creating position of altering the conditions that you perceive, which you are aware of. If you perceive I am aware of my anger, you are not the anger. I am aware of it. And that nature of your awareness begins the process of transmutation of that. I am aware of. These words are very powerful. I am aware of places you onto the throne. I am aware of liberates you from mind and matter. I am aware of. And to remain in that position of awareness, by the very nature of what you are as awareness, you begin the process of transformation. And you will feel it, even as we speak these words to you, you can feel it. I am aware of my fear. I am aware of the sadness. I'm aware of that separateness in perception liberates you from subjectivity. Please understand this, for there are many of you that have to make this distinction, especially now when the energies are becoming so potent in this physical dimension. The terror that you see sweeping over your planet is the fear that so many of you have of letting go of your suffering, for you're so attached to it. It is time to let it go. I am aware. He's saying that to you specifically too. I am aware. He's aware of what you're going through right now. Cool. Hello. Yes. Just scrolling down here. Wonderful. Wow. Okay. Question from Nicole. Who is with me in the morning after I meditate before I pray my candle? Wow. Mary stepping forward, Mary Magdalene, and she's stepping forward and she's saying, I sit with you, as does the other Mary. I presume, yeah. So Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary sit with you on either side at the candle. For it is the light that you are seeking to embody, that we are there to be with you as you do this. Bring the light inside. See the light inside. We will remain with you when you see the light within. Cool. Thank you, Nicole. Wow. Yes. Hi, Miriam. Hi, everybody. Okay, I think we're good for today, guys. So yeah, so I encourage you, do not be afraid of your uncertainty. Do not be afraid of your anger, your guilt, or your shame. Like, all these negative emotions are not there to take you down. Negative emotions are there so that you can lift yourself up. The moment we take that perspective of awareness where I'm aware of it, the very nature of what you are, and they've been saying this more and more lately, and it seems to become the dominant message. What you are as an awareness is love. That's what you are as an awareness, and the very nature of your awareness alters what happens in mind and body, right? What happens in mind and body is in direct relationship to your awareness. If you're saying, oh, I'm in such pain, then you're going to be experiencing more of that. If you're aware, oh, there is this emotional pain, this anxiety, this guilt, this shame, I'm aware of it. As you stay aware of it from a perspective of love, you begin to change it. Please remember this. It's really simple and important to understand that the transformation that humanity is undergoing right now can be a really exciting process, or it can be a really painful process. The choice is up to us. It won't be painful for me, and for many of you that are recognizing that you're not the body, that you have a body, that you're not the mind, you have a mind, that you as an awareness are a transformer of time, space, and matter. That when you move up into the higher frequencies of your being, when you move up into these higher frequencies of awareness, and you suddenly become aware of, oh, I got all these ascended beings with me all the time. I can talk to these enlightened ones that can inform you and inspire you and empower you with more information, which is one of the reasons they come through me to for all of us, right? And why many others are doing the same. There are many others on the planet waking up to this. So yeah, please remember that the essence of your awareness is that you are love. You are a divine spark. Your awareness is the divine spark, and you contain all things within your awareness. You just want to stop being subjective to them. Stop being subjective to fear. Stop being subjective to anger, to guilt, to shame. Liberate yourself from them by being observationally loving towards them, so that the vibration of your love transcends them. Wow, I'm so grateful that I get to do this with you guys every day, every few days. I'm going to take one more question from Animo. I'm aware that I'm experiencing resistance, which is holding me from moving forward. Any assistance available for me today? I think they just answered that question for you, Animo. That literally, when you recognize the resistance, your awareness of resistance, the minute you are aware of the resistance, just stay present with it. Stay lovingly present with it. Don't attack it. Don't try to get rid of it. Just stay lovingly present with it. Like the glass of water sits in the freezer, and the loving presence of the cold in the freezer turns the water to ice. The water doesn't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything to your emotion. You have to be vibrationally aware of being a loving vibration and allow the nature of your vibration to transcend or transform or transmute that resistance. Because remember, resistance is an energy that's offering itself up to be reclaimed by you, and only through love can you reclaim it in a way that will make it useful to you, right? Great question. And I want to thank everybody who, you too, eh? Okay, you want me to take that? All right, we'll do. Question asking me to take one more question from Mary. Did I free something from my back neck today during meditation, or was it a subjective perception? Yes, you did. They're saying there was an alignment that happened in they're using the term dorsal vertebrae. You released something out of your dorsal vertebrae. I don't know what that means, but you've released something from your dorsal vertebrae for higher alignment. They're saying, please tell her to not be subjective to the symptoms of change in the body, but recognize that the agent of change is who she is, that you are the agent of the change and the transformation. And there are others working with you on this that will align with you as it is happening. Cool. I want to thank everybody for their donations today, for their contributions, your questions. Really amazing. I'm so grateful. We'll see you guys on Friday on Shortcuts for Your Soul. And we'll see you on Saturday for Supernatural Saturday. And then there's the Festival of Love that's happening also on, yes, I understand. Yes. Which I mentioned earlier. And the link for the Festival of Love will be posted in the description box below this. And I'll be channeling Master Jesus live at 2 p.m. on High Vibrational Mastery on Facebook. So I hope you'll join me there and the other great mediums that are going to be present there, and the other ascended beings as well. Have yourselves a joyful day. Thank you for your time, your attention, your energy, and much love to all of you. Bye for now.